Here are 5 more tips for anybody that wants to get serious about reading their Bible. Tip number 1, read a physical Bible. I know it's a lot of Bible apps out there, but the best way to read a Bible is to use a physical Bible. You can highlight, you can take notes. You can go back and reference things that you have read, some things that have stuck out to you, some things that you may not need now, but you may need later on down the line. Tip number 2, find a way to retain the information that you are reading. This is a big mistake that I made the first time because I did not do anything to try to retain the information. I wasn't taking notes. I was highlighting, but I was not taking notes. This second time around, I'm remembering so much more because the Bible is this thick, y'all, and it's so much to try to retain and remember. But what I'm doing this time around is I'm reading and things that stick out to me, things that I really want to retain, I'm jotting it down, and that's a great way for me to retain it. Also, another way for me to retain what I'm reading is to talk about it. I read, I take notes, and then I come and I tell you guys about it. And that's not just helping anybody else. That is helping myself to retain the information. So if you have a Bible study partner, somebody that you can go to and talk about the Bible, when you talk about what you've read, it's stuck in here. You're retaining the information. So find a way to retain whatever works for you. Tip number 3, which, Lord, please forgive me because sometimes I forget to do this. Pray before you read. Pray and ask God to block out any distractions. Pray and ask God to show you fresh revelations. Maybe there may be something that He wants you to know and it will pop up as you are reading. But I try to do this often. Sometimes I forget, but it is very important to pray before you read because the enemy does not want you reading your word anyways. So you pray away any distractions because I notice the times that I don't pray, I'm stuck daydreaming while I'm reading. And then I'm like, oh my gosh, I read a whole page and I don't know what I just read. Now I got to go back. And before I go back, I pray and ask God to please help me be able to focus and really take heed of what you are trying to show me in this word. And it works for me. Tip number 4, read the footnotes. I know you guys know when you're reading your Bible, there's that little A, that little B, that little C, and then at the bottom it elaborates and expands on what A means or what B means or what C means. The Bible was written a long time ago, and sometimes even I think that I may know what something means until I read the footnote and it's giving me an entirely different definition or it's referencing something and it pretty much connects the dots for me. So I would recommend not to bypass those footnotes. And tip number 5, research what you don't understand. As I said before, the Bible is so much to retain, it's so much to learn and try to take a grasp of. If you don't understand something, there are so many apps out there, so many Bible studies, so many videos, things that can help break down something. I would recommend if you feel weird or uneasy or something doesn't make sense to you, just pause and try to get that understanding before you move along. Or finish your reading, but then come back to that. Don't walk away with any confusion. And honestly, you may never know if one day you may need to be breaking it down and explaining it to someone else. Those are my 5 additional tips. I hope that helped you guys out. If you guys have any good Bible study apps that can help anybody, including myself, understand things and break down scripture more, please comment it right here. Let's help each other out. We are all trying to get closer to God. Love you guys. I'll see you in the next video.